So what do we got in here, Jerry?
So this is a colony box for common swifts, which are a red listed species in decline. They've declined by about 60% in the last 20 years and 40% of that, so a spike in the last 10 years, so a real great decline in their population. So Devon Birds funded project, funding me to make these and install them in churches because they're a colony nesting bird, so they nest in crevices rather than outside and on nest cups externally, so they like a crevice, and churches provide an absolute gem of a location, replicating their natural habitat. So what we do is design these boxes to install in behind the louvres in particular. It's high up out the way, protected area, and as they're a crevice nesting bird, they'll fly in through this aperture, which is 65mm by 28 to allow swift access, and they'll get in, and obviously you can see we provide a nest cup and a feathering of the nest cup, the scrape, which triggers their natural instinct to nest. So they'll fly in, and without the nest cup they'll fly in and just kind of shuffle about. With the nest cup you've discovered with cameras, they'll fly in and jump straight on the nest cup, shuffle down, and it triggers that instinct to essentially to provide them with what they need, so they know that this is a good nest chamber. Yeah, the churches themselves, the bell towers with bells, ordinarily you'd think a bell ringing right next to the chamber, right next to the nest, would just deter them. However, we've proven again with cameras that they react to the first impact of the clapper hitting the bell, and so they'll startle, and then straight after that they settle into normal behaviour. We know this is really because of their overwhelming instinct to breed and to come here from Africa every year for 3 months. And it's really strong instinct, so they'll tolerate most things really. Smile, Fred.
It's absolutely fantastic, Martin. We were hoping it would happen, and now it has. And next year we'll be having swifts round this church steeple.
And has it been quite a logistical challenge to get the permissions and everything?
Well, I just had to ask the PCC, and then I had to write to the Archdeacon of Barnstaple for her permission by email, and she agreed with a few things. You can't do this, you can't screw to the wall and things like that. But I'm absolutely delighted.
And what do you think of the boxes particularly?
Fantastic. Multi-storey living for swifts. And really neat, contained.
So Jerry, what have we got here?
So this is the swift caller. This is the vocalisation of the pair of adults in the nest calling out, telling the juveniles to clear off. Like I said though, it has the adverse effect of telling them actually this is a perfect nest site. Come and inspect, come and have a look, because you'll find a nest site here. So yeah, that's the caller going. So it plays from May the 1st till August the 1st for an hour and a half in the morning, an hour in the evening, depending on the location. And this has an amazing effect, bringing swifts in. It's like swift catnip, really. It just lets them know that this is an opportunity.
So now you need to get them up the tower.
Yeah, it's part of the joy of doing this, really, working in these 15th century towers. I mean, the architecture of these buildings, I'm focused on this, but more often than not I'll stand and have a look, and they're a real privilege to be working in these superstructures of ours, the oldest buildings in the county, and very grateful for the opportunity.
Coming down.
So where are they going, Jerry?
So they're going obviously on the next level, on behind the louvres. So that's obviously next phase up. Devon Birds have pledged to fund for 75 churches, and there are over 600 churches in Devon with towers. So my ambition is to get as many of those as I can before I can't climb ladders.
41 boxes, I think it is, they're putting up today. So we've got to have some success, surely.
Steady out as you get to the top.
And with a swift caller in place as well, that should enhance the chances of the swifts coming and nesting here.
Yeah.
We intend to invite somebody to come along and speak to the parish about swifts. Anybody who's interested will be very welcome and can get involved in the Swift community. And there is a large Swift community in South Malton and Chumley and in other villages around. People are really keen to have them come and stay, and we need them because they're losing a lot of their natural nesting places. Soffit boards and barge boards are replaced. Holes that they used to use under thatches and under roof tiles no longer exist because people want to insulate their houses so much.
Just keep them away from the valves for a second. Obviously, can you see the mesh?
Yeah.
This essentially is a fly screen. So we just cut out, obviously can you see that there, we'll cut out onto the next level. This then gets a timber across so that the mesh is sealed. It's just a system where essentially when we leave, the mesh work will be better than when we've arrived. So that's the kind of idea really, is to make sure that we're fully engaged with clearing the space and enclosing the space again, making this an exclusive space. In essence, that's what they're going to be doing. In terms of Swift conservation, it's about getting the community engaged. For me, it's a really important element of the project. Bringing the church and conservation together, it's a great effort really to provide something for both. It's lovely to be able to do it. And I know that with the community engagement, we are then creating more locations for swifts to be able to nest in, which is in terms of security for the future of swift conservation. The kind of more widespread you have these nest locations, the better it is, because predators can focus on areas. So I think the key is really community engagement alongside the Swift conservation project. So.
There are lots of people in the village who are always so delighted when the swifts come back to the village in May and very disappointed when they leave in early August. Some people have got boxes up already, but the more the merrier, because then the chances are some of the swifts that visit us every year will nest here.
And just give us a sense of what it takes for the swifts to get here and away.
Well, they come from southern Africa, and when they're flying they don't rest. The first time they don't know where they're going really, but they use the stars and the weather and landmarks and probably follow the elders until they arrive at the place where they were born.
Yeah, there's so much we can do, and it's really tangible. The key is that anyone can get involved in this project, and it doesn't take much to do a little bit, which can help a lot. So as much as we're doing with this, it's equal measures for me, foraging potential. So flying invertebrates is their only food source. So they don't eat at bird feeders. We can't do anything with them in terms of direct feeding. So we've got to create the habitat to feed them. So wildflower meadows, wildflower patches. If you can put anything in your garden, there are so many churches that are turning these spaces into wildflower patches, and they're having amazing success in terms of biodiversity.
And it's lovely to think that as they all leave to go back to Africa now, they'll be there during our winter saying, "Oh, see you in Kings Nympton next year."
Absolutely, yes. Please hurry back. And when they come, it's such a joyous, exhilarating sound, and well, it's just wonderful.